If you're George Lucas or Steven Spielberg and you're about to make another blockbuster like Star Wars or Indiana Jones, you probably have millions to throw around for special effects. But if you're a group of local Boston filmmakers trying to make your first feature movie, your biggest assets are probably resourcefulness and imagination.
Okay, get the scarf flapping, lights flapping, everything going. Okay, Dennis, camera on, please. And
camera on.
Okay, get ready now. Get ready, Nikki, to lean into it. Ready, and lean in.
Working on a shoestring budget, the Boston Movie Company creates its own brand of movie magic. This is a scene from Screamplay, which had its world premiere tonight at Sac Company Place in Boston. It's the first feature-length production for Dennis Piana and Rufus Cedar.
In 1977, my partner Dennis Piana and me started the Boston Black and White Movie Company. It was a group of about 5 filmmakers. We processed our own film after shooting it with our own friends as actors, and we assembled films ranging in length from 3 minutes to 10 minutes and showed them around town with live music composed by our own musicians.
Most of the effects we create, somehow the materials come from the loft where we are. So what you have is people who are artistic by nature and therefore resourceful, using the things around them and transforming them.
Directed and co-written by Rufus, Screamplay is the story of Edgar Allan, an aspiring murder mystery screenwriter on his first trip to Hollywood. In the course of completing his first project, Edgar, played by Rufus himself, meets a number of bizarre people whose imaginary murders he writes into the script. When the unfinished script gets stolen, the murders suddenly start to occur in the same manner as they were conceived on paper.
It takes place in an apartment building in Hollywood, a stucco apartment building. We looked all over the coastline, and we couldn't find a stucco motel or apartment building that matched the description. It finally came to me, though. We got the studio here. Why don't we just do it here in the studio? It's the oldest trick in the book. It's an old Hollywood technique where you do a painting about this size, you put it in front of the camera, you film through this area where the actors are, across the studio, in front of the walls, and it appears that they're actually standing in front of the set. Nothing's real in this movie at all. The same 3 sets, we kept moving around the same 3 walls. Now it's a hallway, now it's stairs, now it's the upper balcony. You believe that the place exists, and it doesn't exist. Except when I wrote the script, I actually lived in a place called the Welcome Apartments, and a lot of the characters are based on these weirdos. They do exist.
Quite unusual for a small independent operation is that the Boston Movie Company does all its own printing.
If I had somebody else print it, it would end up costing a lot more. But it also enabled me to do special effects, like scenes where there would be smoke or hands in a vision superimposed over the action.
I perceive a vision of evil. Behold, the hands of a sinner.
On a budget of only $50,000, tiny even when compared with other small-budget pictures, Screamplay took almost a year and a half to produce, employing a core group of 8 people who worked for nothing, or next to nothing. Although turning a profit on a first feature is rare, hopes are high, but the real goals are much more.
I think the most important thing is I enjoy the challenge, and I think everybody in the movie company does. The thing is, what can we get away with, What can we do ourselves that people out there are going to think is okay?